You know who it is, and you know what time it is. Time to piss off some feminists, trad cucks, and whoever don't want to know the truth. Oh well, let's get started. What is going on, gents? It's RPM here, breaking the curfew and reporting from mobile command. Gentlemen, this is going to be sort of a mashup of topics, but they all revolve around masculinity. Yep. Now, insofar as the election, I'm going to simply say this. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. You only need to control what goes on in your house. End of. Particularly married men. Yeah. Now, I want to put out 3 idioms. The first one is from Tallahassee for all my Zombieland fans. It's time to nut up or shut up. That's the first one. The second one is actually from Coach Greg Adams. Buck up or cuck up. And the third one is from yours truly. It's either time to sack up or back up. Gentlemen, it is time to grow your balls back. Regrow your spine. I know the vast majority of red pillars have done this, but there are too many blue pillars out there who are still trying to go along with the socially acceptable way that men are supposed to be portrayed. Hell no. No. I find myself becoming a whole lot more disagreeable. Because frankly, I'm tired. You see, gentlemen, with the constant attack on masculinity, they want us men to be so mentally beaten down that our balls have shrank. We've defanged ourselves just to be agreeable in polite society. No. Now, insofar as relationships, too many guys out here are walking around like eunuchs. They're dancing monkeys, essentially. Because, if I don't treat my girl right, another guy might turn around and do it. 9 times out of 10, she's already banging somebody behind your back, bro. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is. Now, I get a lot of younger guys asking me about relationship advice. And I asked them, well, why would you ask me of all people, a man who is in a dysfunctional marriage? But I find it surprising. They asked me because, well, it's because you're in a dysfunctional marriage so we can actually get real advice from you. A lot of younger guys are getting tired of older guys giving them bad advice when it comes to relationships. A lot of married men are so stuck on the plantation, they need young men to come join them in their misery. But they say to me, well, you're going to give us the truth, so we'll rather listen to you. And I say, okay, cool. So then I give them the concept of the benevolent dictatorship. Shout out to Obsidian because he made a video a few years back called the Sun Tzu Method of Game. And essentially, that's how I used to be before I got married. As one of my old friends always told me, you had a zero tolerance policy. You literally broke up with a woman because she was 15 minutes late for a date. So I explained that concept to him. Too many men of today tolerate so much bad behavior when it comes to women in relationships. Why? Because they're so afraid of losing that woman. See, make no mistake about it. Society has been very instrumental in instilling the scarcity mindset into men, into boys, not understanding that from sheer numbers alone, there are more women than there are men. So right off the jump, you are more valuable because there are less of you. Yes, Hollywood, society, women will always throw that smoke screen up on your face. Well, I'm the best you can get. Actually, no. There's always a better woman. Now, if you're going to engage with the modern woman, you have to go in with a benevolent dictator mind, which means you are here to serve at my pleasure, and you have one time to displease me in any way, shape, or form, and guess what? You are going to be replaced. See, when you're dating, you should always have a backup. Now, I know women will say, oh, that's horrible. You should not do that. That's a bad thing. Meanwhile, she has that smartphone on her where she knows she can get instant attention from random men around the world. Yeah. So be completely honest. This idea of trying to, maintain masculine frame in a relationship, that's tiring. That's tiring. It takes away from your own time. It takes away from your purpose. Be honest. Say what you mean what you say. And let that woman know she has one time. She gets one time to screw up. You can correct her, or at that point, you can get rid of her right then on the spot. If you're out with a woman on a date, I don't know why you'd be dating, but if you're out with a woman on a date and she picks up that phone, get up, walk out. No more being secretive, no more passive aggressive. Just say, okay, your phone's more important than me. Goodbye. None of this going to the bathroom and sneaking out the back. No. Tell her where she fucked up and leave. Far too many men have adopted female ways of dealing with women, being passive aggressive, not wanting to hurt her feelings. Fuck her feelings. No. Now, a lot of guys are being very responsive when I talk about these things. A lot of younger guys are really hungry for more knowledge because they see how bad society has screwed up. They see how bad that women truly have become. So they're looking for answers. And a lot of the blue pill married guys, they know that those guys are not going to give them the proper answers. So they're leaving them alone. But yeah, another reason why married men need to, nut the fuck up. It's because it does not matter. Luther Campbell is the perfect example of this. This man put out to the public he did nothing wrong. Yet his wife still filed for divorce. Too many married men have this mind state of, oh my God, I'm so afraid because I'm going to lose my stuff. I had to sit back and ask myself this question before I started moving in my own direction. What's more important? Her respect for me or my respect for myself? That's a question that too many married men refuse to ask themselves because they're far too locked in. Yeah. They're too afraid. I was that guy. I was afraid. I was doing stupid things over the years. I was spending money over the years, constantly trying to, outdo myself for anniversaries and all that stuff. But then eventually I had what's called relationship burnout. I finally reached the point where I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't. I'm living a lie. I'm living a lie. Which is why the first time we separated, I truly wasn't ready to be separated. I was still thinking to myself, man, I still want this woman in my life, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, I had to snap. I reached that breaking point, and I finally said, you know what? My life is my life. I only got one shot at this thing. Why live miserable? So, yeah. I took my balls, put them back on, regrew my spine, and I became a disagreeable asshole. The day that she called me an asshole was a day that I was proud. Why? Because I knew at that point I had gone back to my old self. And she knew when she called me an asshole, she had a bit of a smile on her face too. Because at that point, she knew she couldn't do anything but respect me. And I told her, love, that never existed between us. It was nothing but mutual benefits. It is what it is. So now that I've awoken and I've moved into my own place, we talk when we talk. Other than that, we steer clear of each other. We live our own separate lives. Too many married men can't do that, which is why they live in constant fear. But as I stated before, it does not matter. Good husband, bad husband, once you step into divorce court, you will be treated the same, like absolute garbage. Like garbage. Is it a fair system? Of course not. But why do men keep doing things the way that they do? Well, fear of losing out on a woman and the potential fear of losing freedom. Make no mistake about it. Those are two things that women love to lord over you. So here's a question that I would ask you. Why would the opinion of a woman that you're not having sex with even matter? Just a question. Why? Oh, that's for you to decide. But insofar as me, oh yeah, I tell women nowadays, look, you're not screwing me, so your opinion is completely useless. And ironically, let's go back to a video where I talked about one of my female coworkers who was essentially a bully to all the smaller guys. And when I smacked her across the head with that piece of cardboard, ironically, she ended up getting fired. But still, gentlemen, it's time for you to grow your balls back. It's time to become a little bit more disagreeable. I'll let women know, yeah, I'm disagreeable. If you ask me my opinion, your feelings will get hurt. You are not important enough for me to lie to. Period. Ironically, when I say that to women, they get this look of shock on their face. What? You're not going to tell me what I want to hear? No. Why should I? You're not getting bent over my couch. So why should I tell you what you want to hear? No. Ironically, now, way more respect is being earned at both of my workplaces. No more yes man, no more being agreeable. Now, if someone asks me to do something, even though I'll do it, I'll just outright tell them, nah, I'll do it when I'm ready to do it. Well, what did I say? I said I'll do it when I'm ready to do it. Okay? I'm busy right now. Oh, okay, But with my size and my voice, a lot of people are intimidated by me. And ironically, that used to be a source of insecurity for me. Because people say, oh, you're such a big guy, you got such a deep, baritone voice, it kind of puts a lot of people off. So this is definitely a problem for a lot of bigger guys. We tend to try to shrink ourselves down. However, never do that. Be proud of your size. Be proud of your voice. Speak from the chest. Which ironically, the other day I was making a delivery and there was a guy that was about 6'1", beard and all that stuff. And that's something else. A lot of beard game guys tend to be definitely on the weaker side on the inside, if you get my drift. But he was talking to the lady that was behind the desk, and he had this real timid voice. And I looked at her and I was just like literally feeling her out. And she was just like, she was literally disgusted. This guy was so big, but his voice was so small. So when I walked over, I was like, this is for such and such. She literally perked up. Why? Because my voice, my projection, my tone, the fact that I just had a I don't give a fuck attitude. Yes, gentlemen, being a toxic male is definitely something that you should aspire to. Now, I'm not saying go out and start whooping women's asses, even though a lot of women do deserve that. But just be confident in yourself. Be confident. Be your true self. Walk through life, walk through society, hold your head high, speak from your chest. And if people are intimidated, oh well, it doesn't matter. Don't be an asshole, just be honest. And I found that simply being honest hurts women more than anything else. Period. It's like one of my coworkers asked me, she tried to shit test me. Do you think I'm fat? Yeah. How can you say that? You asked me my opinion. I gave you the truth. You're fat. I'm fat. I could stand to lose a few pounds. But guess what? You're fat. So you asked me for my opinion. You got my opinion. So you have no right to be offended by my opinion. If you didn't want my truth, you should not have asked me the question. Oh, well, it is what it is. So, of course, she was mad. But did I care? No. No. You asked me out of the blue for my advice, and you got it. Gentlemen, just be honest. That's it. That's the only thing that you need to do in today's society. Now, with that honesty, yes, there will come consequences, but better to be, I think it was Kurt Cobain who said this, better to be hated for who you truly are than to be loved for who you are not. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump off. Got some things to do. Got to get ready for today. But ladies, the power is still metaphorically out. Feminism and your efforts to continually feminize men and boys, that's going to eventually go out right along with it. Because as long as guys like me are out there, we're going to spread masculinity where we can, especially to the younger generation of men. That's all I got to say for this one. RPM, I am